ganz vergessen, Aufnahme zu starten. So. Also, was ist letztes Mal passiert? Wir hatten irgendwie innerhalb der Gruppe eine Diskussion über unser Essen und über unsere Kochkünste. Speziell die Gegenüberstellung der Kochkünste zwischen uns, Keiichi und Satoko. Und ja, dementsprechend haben sie jetzt einen kleinen Wettkampf ausgemacht, der am kommenden Tag die beste Bento-Box, das Beste zu essen mitbringt, sozusagen. Der hat halt gewonnen. Ansonsten haben wir noch rausbekommen, oder ist noch passiert, dass unsere Eltern anscheinend weggefahren sind wegen irgendwas, ich glaube, wegen der Arbeit vom Vater oder so. Heißt, wir sind jetzt aktuell erstmal alleine zu Hause. Und ansonsten ist eigentlich nichts passiert. Der Verlierer von dem Wettkampf, der muss dann vor der einen Lehrerin, die so vernarrt in Curry ist, muss dann Curry schlecht reden. Und ja. So, Max Episode 2 haben wir beendet, ja. Tomb Raider haben wir fertig gemacht, ja. Bioshock haben wir angefangen, jo. Digimon wurde fortgesetzt. Persona 4 haben wir noch gespielt gehabt und ich hab doch die Aufnahmen hier. Persona 4, Tomb Raider, 7 Max, Bioshock, Digimon. Das haben wir gestern gespielt. Ja, dann fangen wir eventuell heute neues Spiel an oder so. So, also weiter geht's. Fine, I'm desperate. So what? I may not know the ABCs of navigation, and I have neither a sea chart nor a compass. But still, one idiot is taking on the ocean of the great cooking age alone. And his name is Keiichi Maebara. Let's go. Time to cook. My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone. Kurz Moment. Musik ist leicht. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone. And cooking was probably the top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I wanted something to help me. I made up my mind and fished through the kitchen cabinets. I was on the hunt for a cookbook. My mom should have had a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Oh, here's one. Its worn out, wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. Okay, as long as I've got this. Well, it's easier to give it a shot than think about it, right? Anyone can concoct the tastes of a gourmet chef as long as they have a cookbook. Cookbooks are great. And as such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However, it played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. You knew it all along, Keiji Maebara. If anyone could make delicious food just by reading a book, then there would be no such job as a gourmet chef in the first place. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons. But which spoon is that? And it keeps saying to use however much you like. How much exactly are you supposed to use? Stop using such obscure expressions. Strain out the water in a colander. Add salt and pepper to taste? What the heck is a colander? Das frage ich mich auch gerade. Colander. Ein Sieb. Okay, ein Sieb ist ein Colander. And strain it out like stretching? You can't stretch water droplets like meat. Besides, how much salt and pepper is that supposed to be anyway? Aren't there any beginner-friendly guides in here? It won't do you any good to yell. Cool off, Keiji Maebara. Think calmly. Calmly. For now, I'll leave the side dish until after. The rice is more important. I have to cook the rice, or I can't start. I know a little about how to cook rice. I didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping. I didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. When camping all the time for nothing. I'll wash the rice. That should be enough water. And which switch is it? Is it this button? Oh, the lamp turned on. Yeah, fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now, pleased by the rice cooker set, I pulled myself together and decided to take on the miso soup next. The miso soup I made at day camp was all the instant kind, after all. Well, it would be fine if I just melted the miso into hot water, no doubt. I'll boil the water and put in the miso. Huh? How much should I put in? Let's see. Use a proper amount according to the number of people and your taste. Enough with the vague expressions. Fine. Then I'll put in the proper amount. I crushed the bag of miso in my fist and put half of its contents into the pot. Was this really okay? Maybe this was a little too hearty. They do say miso soup is best when it tastes strong. Come to think of it, my mom's miso soup is a little thin. Maybe I'll like it better with this much in it. I said it all out as if trying to convince myself. Then, convinced by my own words, I nodded to myself. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. But what should I make? Something I could make that would add color to the meal. That's it. Why don't I stir fry some vegetables? You can eat vegetables raw too, and they won't die just from a little bit of fire. I was so cute then, not realizing that the level of my thoughts had fallen from what would look great in a meal to what would be easy to make. There were quite a few vegetables in the refrigerator. What kind of vegetable go in a stir fry? Bean sprouts? Cabbage? Chives? Onions? Okay, can you put cucumbers and lettuce in? For now, I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut them into chunks and tossed them into a wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is the true worth of men's cooking. Hey, this is actually getting kind of fun. All of a sudden, there was a pile of vegetables in the wok. Alright, next is the salad oil. Glock, 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 went the salad oil. It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim. Oops, a bit leaked out. Well, no pride in worrying about something so minor. The great Keiichi Maebara's cooking is exciting. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Whoosh. Salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire and flames reached up to the sky. Amazing! Maybe I can be an iron chef too! What if I'm really good at cooking with fire? Those words were spoken by a delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless, but when the words came out, they sort of convinced me. Ah! Ha 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 ha! Yes, I am an iron chef. Ah! Hot, hot, hot! Right as the crazy pillar of flame started to burn the ceiling, I finally realized that the fabulous cooking before my eyes had culminated into an actually life-threatening disaster. Wait, what? Could I have been doing something insane? The force of the flame grew stronger and stronger. Wait, what? What? Yeah! What in the world are you doing? You must stop the flames this instant! Kerthwack! Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of the head. When I turned around to see what was going on, to my surprise, I saw Satoko and Rika-chan there. Eh? Satoko? Rika-chan? As I stood in wonder at their unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Rika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, spread it out and placed it over the pot. She continued to soak more towels and put a second on, then a third. Once a whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped. All of it had happened in a few moments. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air. Wait, what are you doing in my house? You're trespassing on private property here. Yes, well, Keiichi-san, you've been caught red-handed in the act of arson. It was just about to turn into a huge building fire, wasn't it? It would be very, very sad if Keiichi was homeless after this. And after pretending to be an iron chef, I finally began to take in the situation. So that was really about to set the house on fire. Is that not obvious? Just look at it. The ceiling is all sooty, is it not? Chimneys are the only things that should be sooty. Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life. Vielleicht. Oder vielleicht ist Keiichi auch ein Iron Chef. Wer weiß. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fiery cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Rika-chan rang the doorbell. But they could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank goodness they did. If Satoko and I hadn't come, the fire engines would have been going wee-oo right now. Keiichi-san, do you understand how serious this was? At some point, I had sat down on my knees as I listened obediently. Arg. I'm sorry, you two saved my life. We thought we would come and see what a fabulous dinner you made. But as we thought, it's a mess. At this rate, we won't even need to look at your bento. You mean? So you and Rika-chan came all this way just to see what I'd make for dinner? Us being mean saved your house and your life. Is that not something to take to heart? Yes. Eibe. What? Ist I' B? Nee, das ist wahrscheinlich Schreibfehler. Also ein Sorry ist Sorry in Babysprache. I'm sorry, Sakoko-chan. At this point, having shown them such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I'd completely surrendered. And yet you tried really hard on the curry. Where did the Keiichi-san from back then go? Jeez. Immer dieses Urk. I had all our underclassmen help me then, and just borrowed entire pots from the other teams. I didn't really cook anything. Keiichi-san, you cheated? Jeez, you might have been doing what our club usually does, but that was terrible. Pouring salt into the other team's pots seemed far more terrible to me. But Satoko was in control right now, so I couldn't respond. I obediently hang my head to her. By the way, Keiichi-san, this terrible pot, this wasn't supposed to be miso soup, was it? Satoko stared at the pot, totally full of miso, with an awful expression. Ah, so I really did get the amount wrong. Judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso anymore. Forget the miso soup. The rice should be cooked just fine. Rice cookers these days are pretty convenient. It should be just about done. Meep! It's not cooked. See, the inside is still all watery. Huh? What? But I switched it on and the little light came on. Keiichi-san, the button you pushed was the timer button, okay? It's set for breakfast, so it won't turn on until tomorrow morning. Yeah! So, then what? In the end, I don't have a side dish, or miso soup, or even rice. I couldn't make anything myself! Oh, ho, 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 ho. It serves you right. So, have you finally realized your place? Come! Admit it. Say it! I, Keiichi Maebara, am all bark and a much crummier cook than Satoko Hojo-san. Yeah! I'm a terrible person and a crummier cook than Satoko. I beg your forgiveness. Ooga! I fainted in agony. Rika-chan pat my head, satisfied at the sight. And Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. Ah, I've completely lost. In the end, I talked big but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'll go without dinner. And tomorrow morning, no breakfast and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it would be before my parents returned, but at this rate, without a doubt. Starved to death! Meep! Of course, I'll have no bento tomorrow either. Meep! And I'm sure you get the punishment game tomorrow. I'm sure to get the punishment game tomorrow. Yeah! Meep! Rika-chan kept on patting my head with a smile on her face that couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko, completely appalled at how unsightly I looked, heaved a heavy sigh. Adult men are just so pathetic, aren't they? Come on, please move yourself out of the way. As I sobbed like a girl, Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside, dumped the remains of the miso soup into the sink tidy, then began to rinse out the pot. Don't worry about it, Satoko. I can at least clean up after my own mess. I couldn't have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I'd made a mess of. But when I tried to stop her, Rika-chan pulled on my clothes. Keiichi, you can just be silent and watch. She grinned as she said it. Be quiet and watch? What are you saying, Rika-chan? She meant just what she said. Keiichi-san, just be quiet and leave this to me. Satoko turned around and declared, seeming bothered. As if to say that amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary. Leave what to you? Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots and the refrigerator. Hey, wait. Don't mess with them too much. If you turn the place inside out, my mom might get mad at me later. Would you just be quiet already? Men aren't supposed to enter the kitchen. Rika! Aye, sir. Satoko snapped her fingers and Rika-chan got on her tiptoes, grabbed me by the back of my neck and started dragging me away. Ah! Leaving Satoko alone in the kitchen, Rika-chan dragged me back into the living room. Hey, stop, Rika-chan! Let me go already! If we leave it to Satoko, the kitchen will be a disaster. Satoko came to see how she beat you today. It's her revenge. Revenge? Come to think of it, her face looked kinda grim. Eventually, from the kitchen there was the sound of a faucet being twisted and a stove dial being turned. I began to hear the nostalgic sounds that made me envision dinner time. The refrigerator opening and closing, ingredients being cut on the chopping board. What did that mean? Was she cooking? Keiichi made fun of her quite a lot. Satoko wanted to show you that she can cook proper meals too. Ah! Just listening to it like this. There haven't been any sounds of boiling, of blood spilling or bursting or explosions. At this point, at least, she had proven she was a more skillful cook than me. In the cooking showdown with Satoko Hojo versus Keiichi Maebara, it looked like victory had already been decided. I recalled Satoko's slightly annoyed expression from before. I was making fun of Satoko too much today, wasn't I? Is she holding a grudge? We were just provoking each other with our usual back and forth. But I also think I maybe overdid it. Ich verlese mich heute sehr häufig. At the very least, I shouldn't have made fun of Satoko, who could cook for herself when I'd never cooked other than for recreation before. Satoko isn't holding very much of a grudge, but she came all the way to my house and pushed her way in. She's gotta be mad. I quietly took a peek into the kitchen. She definitely looked different than the usual bird-brained Satoko. Her eyes were sharp and her movements were brisk, to the point where it was a little scary. Then she must have noticed me, because she turned around and shot me an annoyed glare. I cringed in fear and hastily pulled my head back out. She's mad. She's totally mad! Ah! How will she take revenge on me? Ah! That's just Satoko being serious because she doesn't want to fail. She isn't angry or anything. How can you say she isn't angry? I've never seen Satoko be this frightening. Keiichi-san, I can hear that, you know. Sorry! I jumped at Satoko's angry outburst and faced towards the kitchen, nicht children. Ich kann heute nicht lesen. I felt exactly like a kid who had done something bad and gotten called to the teacher's lounge. Where'd you keep the miso? The refrigerator is so big that I don't see any of it anywhere. I'm sorry, the miso is... It's on the middle shelf in the fridge, at the back left of the lower rack. What is this? You need to close the miso package after you finish with it. It's getting the inside of the refrigerator dirty, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Before I can look for something to wipe it with, Satoko wiped it off with a wet dish towel. I swear, how are men so bad at cleaning up after themselves? I shudder to think that you will become an adult like this. I couldn't talk back to Satoko today. The only thing I could do was obediently lower my head and apologize. As Satoko nitpicked and I apologized, a good smell began to fill the kitchen. This is how you prepare the miso for the soup. You scoop a little out with the ladle and break it up with chopsticks. It's important to add a little at a time and keep tasting it. Dumping the entire thing into the pot is absolutely outrageous. I'm sorry. I never paid attention in home ec class. You're pathetic, I swear. Men! I cowered at her annoyed-sounding muttering. But looking at her like this, she seemed quite good at cooking. It had just been overshadowed by Reina's and Rika-chan's artistic abilities. Satoko's skills were clearly enough to get passing marks. Hey, if you have time to zone out like that, then you can go set the table. Rika and I will be eating too, so set 3 places. On it! I hastily took a three people's worth of dishes and such from the cabinets and headed to the dining room. When I returned there, I could hear laughter from a variety show on the television. Rika-chan was sprawled out on the couch, watching television and relaxing. When she noticed me putting the dishes out on the table, she came scampering up. Dinner time is soon. Dinner at Keiichi's house. Nippa! Endlich fangen sie mal an. Endlich fangen sie mal an in der Visual Novel mit Nippa anzufangen. Im Anime ist es ständig. In der Visual Novel ist es glaube ich, das erste Mal. Rika-chan, you're in a good mood. There's a pretty big difference from Satoko. Satoko isn't in a bad mood at all. She's enjoying herself more than she has in a long time. Enjoying herself? Seriously? She's like how she was when her Nini was with her. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko look like she's having so much fun. Nini? What the heck is Nini? Is it a sound cats make? Nini means brother. Satoko's older brother. Satoko's older brother? He's named Satoshi. Haven't you heard his name before? Satoshi. Satoshi Ocho? Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. At least he didn't go to our school. Satoshi, huh? Satoko's older brother. That's the first time I've heard of him. She had a brother, huh? I didn't know that. She does have one. Saying that, Rika-chan grinned even more brightly and went Nippa again. When Satoko was with Satoshi, she always looked like she was having fun, just like this. It really has been a long time since I've seen Satoko enjoying herself this much. However, I looked at it, she seemed to be in a bad mood. But her good friend Rika-chan was saying that it was actually the opposite. Is she really enjoying herself? She must be remembering the time she spent with her Nini. It's nostalgic. Nostalgic? Huh. Then does she live apart from Satoko? Does he live apart from Satoko? Maybe Satoko's older brother Satoshi is actually a lot older than her. He must have gone off on his own and was living by himself far away. Satoko seems like she got along well with this Satoshi person. She did. The two of them got along very well. She spread her arms wide to demonstrate the width of how well they got along. According to Rika-chan, Satoko supported her docile, slightly unreliable older brother through nagging. That was their relationship. I see. That certainly applied to the current situation. We had me, unreliable, unable to cook even a single dish properly, and Satoko, who redid it while scolding me. Could Satoko have been getting a glimpse of her brother, who now lived far away through me? So she would always nitpick whatever Satoshi did, but she firmly supported him and they got along well. Today, she was the one. She suggested we should go to Keiichi's house. She said, "There's no way the unreliable Keiichi-san could possibly make dinner. We need to make it for him." Then she didn't come here. Then she didn't come here to get revenge or to get even or anything like that. She couldn't leave you alone. Even now, Satoko is a proper little sister. I was an only child. I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. Of course, I've never had a little sister like Satoko. But I felt that in this moment I was an older brother, obediently and helplessly being looked after by her. Without any teasing or messing around. I'm going to give thanks for her trouble. That's what I honestly thought. Keiichi-san, do you know where on earth the ladle is? Oh, sorry. The ladle should be in the drawer to your right. I ran into the kitchen, got the ladle out of the drawer and offered it to Satoko. It's all done. Have you put the bolts and things out? Yeah, everything's A-okay. Then let us have our meal. Rika, it's time for dinner. Me. I heard Rika-chan's oh Gott, effervescent. Was ist das? Ein interessantes Wort, das ich nicht kenne. Effervescent. Sprudelnd, überschäumend, quirlig, spritzig. Ah, okay.
Effervescent.
Effervescent. Okay, dankeschön, Internet. I heard Rika-chan's effervescent voice coming from the dining room. Satoko turned off the gas flame on the stove and lifted up the pot of miso soup. Could you bring the rice cooker, Keiichi-san? Be careful not to flip it over, alright? Alright, I'll be careful. I can carry rice cookers just fine without being warned about it. I thought about replying like that, but I decided not to. No mean words or witty retorts today. Rice with steam billowing from it and miso soup, as well as a handful of side dishes. On the table was a truly firm, family-oriented dinner. It wasn't weird at all or extravagant. It was a daily meal, the sort a housewife would make. It was very nonchalant and brimming with liveliness. Then let us eat. Thank you for the food. At Satoko's command, Rika-chan and I both thanked her in a loud voice. I made light of you, Satoko. You've beaten me soundly. Ah ha ha! Do you have a better opinion of me now? I may still not be as good as Rika or Reina-san, but I can cook far better than the helpless Keiichi-san. Yeah, I know better now. After I honestly admitted my defeat, Satoko's expression finally softened, and she laughed with her normally loud and cheerful voice. Chomp chomp. Oh, the rice is cooked really well. Though she used a rice cooker, it tasted a little different from the rice my mom made. Maybe she'd used a different amount of water for it. Even so, I could feel Satoko's personality from the rice, which made it taste better than usual. The miso soup was a little on the thick side, but it was still delicious. The side dishes, while not exactly flashy, tasted great as well. It was also appetizing, and I couldn't stop eating. The side dishes are well done too, Satoko. You're not a bad cooker at all. I gave my honest impression without a hint of sarcasm. Satoko seemed to have been expecting some, because when I praised her so honestly, she got flustered instead. Ha ha ha! Your praise honors me, but it's nothing so grand. The side dishes are just things I bought at the store and heated up. This and this, all I did was open the can. I can only really make rice and miso soup myself. Satoko said, embarrassed, her face a bit flushed. There was none of her normal verbal abuse or sarcasm in there either. I can't make anything except rice and miso soup, but when you get ready-made side dishes and put them on the table too, it turns into something fairly splendid. My mom used ready-made side dishes and canned goods too. It's nothing to be so embarrassed about. This is a fantastic dinner. I gave her honest praise. I've never met Satoko's brother, but Satoshi would probably praise her in the same way. Well, I suppose it's enough now that you've come to realize that I can hold my own in the kitchen. Would you like seconds? There's plenty of miso soup still left. Ha! Did the bread just awkwardly change the subject? When I realized my response had been on the mark, it made me a little happy. When we eat rice like this, it's fun. Like we're eating with Satoshi. Rika-chan mentioned Satoko's older brother's name again. Satoko's chopsticks paused, and she looked up at the ceiling. How nostalgic. I wonder what he could be doing right now. She had a faraway smile, as if yearning for a friend who had moved away. From how it looked, I got the impression she hadn't seen Satoshi in quite some time. Satoko realized I was giving her a blank stare. I do apologize. Satoshi is my Nini. No. My older brother. Ah, okay. I see. Nini must have been a nickname only Satoko used for him. It was funny to see her hastily deny it. I was rather surprised a person such few living skills had the ability to run away with such, well, I'm sure he'll pack up shop at some point and return out of the blue. So he ran away. There was another story to what Satoko had said so cheerfully. The reason for Satoshi not living with her was a little serious. Everyone had been talking about it in such an upbeat way, so I continued to talk about him. Should I not have broached the subject at all? I hastily took a look at Satoko's face after thinking that, but there was no trace of the gloomy expression I'd been worrying about. Well, he's not old enough to be dreaming of living on his own. Nini won't be able to do it for long anyway. He has no endurance. Satoshi may not look like it, but he's a very persevering person. He's a lot more persevering than you think. Rika, you always take Nini's side right away. You're a little too nice to him. Satoko is just too harsh on Nini. You should treat him more kindly when he comes back. Satoko and Rika-chan's views regarding Nini, aka Satoshi, were parallel to each other. But I could easily tell that both of them really liked him. They were so optimistic too. even though he had run away from them. It was like they were going to see him again next week. Satoko and Rika-chan both liked Satoshi even now, and waited for him, believing he would surely return. I've never met him, but I know for sure that this Satoshi person was a really good guy. I had thought Satoko would be deeply hurt by her brother running away, but she had already overcome that. She was still being the energetic little sister, always full of whim and vigor, as if to say that her brother could come back anytime he liked. I thought that Satoko didn't think through anything, and just frolicked and played practical jokes every day, and that was it. But she was really... yeah. Why are you petting my head? I roughly rubbed the hand through Satoko's hair. I misunderstood you, Satoko. I didn't know you were this level-headed. Satoko seemed to think I was making fun of her and tried to bat away my hand. But then she saw that there wasn't even a trace of malice on my face, and obediently granted me her head. Yep, Satoko's level-headed. She sure is. I've been level-headed from the start. I was just playing pranks on you because you always do it to me. There was a usual provocation, but I decided not to buy into it today. You're right. You were just doing it to go along with me, but you really were so level-headed. Good for you. Is that actually a compliment? It kind of seems like you're making fun of me. I'm not trying to make fun of you at all. I'm seriously complimenting you. Because if I was making fun of you, Rika-chan would be petting your head too. That's right, isn't it? When Rika makes fun of people, she usually pets their head. Meep! These canned sardines are delicious. Rika-chan went nippa, and her smile became even brighter. Her attitude was clear as day, but it was annoyingly huge, so both Satoko and I suddenly burst into laughter. That laughter lightened up the table. The table itself is so dull and simple that I never even thought people could be laughing at this like this around it. And then I finally came to realize something really obvious. Then it's better if you're laughing while you're eating, huh? Of course it is. Laughing makes it taste better. How rude! The food is good because I'm a good cook, obviously. Ah ha 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 ha. The harmonious moment. This happy circle. It was completely different than spending time with family, but still somehow nostalgic. Satoko, do you want to see Nini? I didn't say Nini. Call him my brother, please. Hey, wait, you've been saying Nini this, Nini that this whole time. I grinned wryly and decided to call him brother, like she told me to. Satoko, do you want to see your brother? Rika-chan stopped eating, then looked back and forth between my face and Satoko's. Satoko was smiling. She looked like she was trying to choose her words. Just from that, Satoko conveyed her feelings. Honestly, she wished he would come home right now. But she wasn't that weak. Satoshi should just do what he wanted until he was satisfied. In return, she'd let him have the scolding of his lifetime. And then she'd have dinner with him and lay out his futon for him. Well, of course I want to see him again. It's been almost a year. It's been that long already. Rika-chan smiled thinly, her eyes appearing to look far away. Well, Nini can do what he wants. It would lighten my load if he came back with more muscles and knowing how to do housework, of course. See, you said Nini again. You said it. I did not. I would never call Nini Nini. things rapidly returned to the usual, lively atmosphere of lunchtime at school. But nothing changed around Satoko's feelings towards her brother. She was living so bravely and so strongly. Hey, Satoshi, your sister's trying so hard to watch the place while you're gone, isn't she? Give it a rest and come back soon. Got it? Satoko. It's time to clean up or else we will get sleepy. It was when we were all watching TV while enjoying some tea after dinner. Rika-chan let out a big yawn and then spoke. Satoko and I both then looked at the clock and noticed how late it had gotten. No, perhaps we both realized it already. We just didn't want this warm moment to end. Maybe we didn't want to say anything. Oh, this will not do. I still haven't washed the dishes yet. Don't worry about it. I can do that much at least. You made a great dinner, so I can't let you do the dishes too. Are you sure you'll be alright? When people who are not used to it try and wash them, the soap could make the dishes slip out of their hands, you know? Jeez, she's turned into a perfect nagging little sister. It was charming and awkward. Emotions like that were all mixed up inside me. I gave her a vague, dry smile. Keiichi can at least wash dishes. If you break one and hurt yourself, I'll give you paddings at school tomorrow. Rika-chan yawned again, so wide you could see her molars. Is it really alright? Keiichi-san is pretty unreliable despite how he looks. Give me a break. Looks like Keiichi's approval ratings have plummeted in Satoko's mind. Don't worry, I'll clean those dishes up, no problem. So don't worry about it and go home. Actually, at this hour I can't let you two go home by yourselves. I'll take you there. Let me find the key for my bike. Once you've taken us home, Keiichi-san will be the one going home by himself. You'll be in big trouble if you get lost on the roads at night and end up in Takatsuro. There's no houses or lights out there at all. I was trying to worry about them going home, but I didn't think they'd be worried about me getting lost. Am I really that unreliable? She really is being critical right now. Critical, but yeah, my god. This feeling I have, it's not bad. So I ended up not needing to escort them. I saw off Satoko and Rika-chan to the gate. Thanks a lot for today. Thanks to you, I got a good cultural dinner. If Satoko hadn't come, Keiichi would be growling and yowling right now. Truly. It's really good that we came. They really saved me. I gave them another bow filled with gratitude. Oh yes, I put the rice and side dishes into a container, so use that for your bento tomorrow. And for breakfast you can eat some bread and jam. Strawberry jam and peanut butter were in your refrigerator, so on the middle shelf to the right. Cocoa powder too was in the upper right door of the cupboard. I know all that, you don't have to go into detail. I was about to say that, but I decided to humbly listen to her. It was then that I finally realized that Satoko, who had appeared to be in a bad mood, was in fact in a great one, just like Rika-chan had said. And that though she nagged a lot, she was very kind. And good night. Make sure to brush your teeth before you go to bed. You have to do it for at least 5 minutes. I got it, Satoko. I'll brush my teeth and make breakfast for tomorrow. And I'll be sure not to forget the bento. You need to wake up earlier than usual, or you won't be able to get your breakfast or bento ready, got it? If you like, I can give you a call a little earlier to wake you up instead of using your alarm clock. You don't have to go that far. I'll set my alarm clock to wake me up a little earlier. Thanks for being so concerned about me. Satoko looked like she had more fault finding to do. But she stopped and, leaving me with a good night, got on her bike and disappeared down the nighttime road. Rika-chan went to do the same, but then remembered something and came back. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Did you forget something? Kate, you get 100 points for today. Rika-chan suddenly complimented me. She clapped her small hands. What was she on about? I didn't do anything worth of praise, did I? I nearly burned down the house after all. Satoko probably felt like her Nini had come home. I think she was having a lot of fun. Once in a while, I want you to go along with Satoko's scolding in the future. Are you telling me to be like an older brother that she can scold instead of Satoshi? Rika-chan didn't say anything. She just smiled and went all Nippa. This Satoshi person. He has such a great little sister, so what was he unhappy about? If I were Satoshi, I would never have run away from her home. Satoshi had his own circumstances, I'm sure. Didn't know what he was unhappy with. But whatever the reason, it was no excuse for abandoning Satoko. I hope he comes back soon. I probably can't play the role of her actual Nini forever, you know. That's okay. You were just like Satoshi today. Please do it again sometime. If that's what would make Satoko happy, I'd take on this easy role whenever I needed to. Rika! Satoko stopped her bike under a distant exterior light and called out to her friend, who wasn't coming no matter how long she waited. Okay, I have to go. Good night. Yeah, night. I can't replace Satoshi, but Keiichi could do it. That's one less piece of baggage I need to shoulder. Leaving me with that, Rika-chan sped off on her bike. She rode up next to Satoko, and then the two of them disappeared in the blink of an eye. Satoshi. Seriously, come back soon, got it? If you come home really late, I'll punch you right in the nose. Let's try our best until that day comes, Satoko. Even if I could no longer hear the sounds of the bicycles, I stood there for a while, seeing them off. Haben wir's. Ja. Gott, heute war irgendwie nicht so guter Vorlesetag. Keine Ahnung warum. Ah ja. Müde bin ich anscheinend leicht. You're on fire. Achievement bekommen. Sehr schön. So, Kapitel 1 beendet. Wunderbar.